My name is Jessica Dumas, and I'm a professional speaker and speaker coach, and I help entrepreneurs get paid to speak. I think oftentimes I meet people and they think that I was just born confident. I have this career because look who I am, look at the way that I conduct myself. This is just who she is. But I wasn't born like this. I didn't start here. I sure didn't think I'd be selling my coaching services on social media. The thing is, I actually grew up with really low self-esteem. I grew up in one of the poorest neighborhoods in my city. I didn't like myself. I actually hated myself. There would be no way that I would show up, record a video of myself, show up on social media, show up on a stage, ask to get paid. All of these things I could not imagine myself doing when I was younger. When I was young, I was actually exposed to the most disadvantaged neighborhood, even in my home and in my family. In the environments that I grew up in, I was exposed to abuse, poverty, lack of respect to Indigenous women. I thought growing up with a dream was dumb. I thought the fact that I wanted to be somebody was dumb. I was a really quiet and insecure kid. I had a lot of experiences where as a kid, I felt really humiliated. That shit built my belief system about the fact that I was not worthy. It amplified the message that it was actually my rite of passage to suffer and that I wouldn't be anybody and that I wouldn't accomplish anything. By the time I was a teenager, I was in full-blown self-doubt, and I truly believed that I didn't matter. And in fact, if I was someone who would have gone missing or murdered, that it wouldn't even matter. There was just something always within me that told me that I was meant for something bigger. And I would argue in my head back and forth because I felt like I was going crazy. And even though I wanted to have something so much bigger for my life, I really, really struggled to believe it. The first big event where I actually had to speak and have people listen to me was at a press conference after my brother was killed in 2005 by the police. I was devastated. I was not a confident person. And I was also working for employers that didn't really support me as a person and made me feel like I wasn't smart enough to be there. It was really condescending and it was not good. It was not good for me. But I had this dream that I wanted to inspire other women. I wanted to help them find confidence so that they could show up and feel good about themselves and who they are and everything that they were. But I quickly realized that I couldn't do that until I could do that for myself. I had a lot of shame about who I was as an Indigenous person, as a single divorced mom, as someone with no university education. I only had a grade 12 education, and I was this brown girl from the poor neighborhood in my city, and I never thought that I would amount to anything, because who would want to hear from me anyway? Who would want to listen to anything that I had to say? But I still always felt that pull and that desire that, again, I was meant to do something big. I was meant to do something unique. I couldn't find a job that fit, that made me feel like I belonged. And so I really had to work at it, and I struggled for a long time because I only knew that you get a job and you work for an employer and that's how you make money. And I had kids to raise. On my mornings to work, I would take the kids to school and I would park the car and I would cry because I was so unhappy and discouraged with the jobs that I had to go and work at. And they were good jobs. They were decent jobs. But I really just didn't want to be there. I didn't feel like I would qualify for anything worthy because I didn't have a university education. One year, I actually just took the leap. I was working with a really great firm. I had a really good boss. The team was but I left and I started selling my own training and I started charging money for my speaking services. And this is how I started my career as a professional speaker and a speaker coach. And today I have a podcast that's in the top 5% of podcasts worldwide. I have a radio show. I have a podcast sponsor. I work with incredible women as their coach to help them feel confident to use their voice to take up space and to charge money for their speaking services. And these women are doing really wild things. And I get to work with them, and I get to work with so many amazing groups. I get to speak to so many amazing audiences. I get flown to different cities to go and speak to new audiences. I get to MC incredible events. I'm truly living my dream. An important part of my story is I didn't have anything handed to me. I was alone on my journey for the majority of the time. I raised my sons on my own. Anytime I had support, I paid for babysitters. I had to earn that money to pay for babysitters. I invested in my own training. I've invested in coaching again and again. And I've struggled over the years, over and over, trying to believe in myself for a higher level, for my next level. The growth has always been really uncomfortable and really scary, but I could always hear that voice that I was meant for more. And I want this for everyone. And if you are feeling this message resonate with you, and if you're feeling that you're meant for more, then I truly believe that you are. I truly want this for everyone. And I believe that the proof is already in everything that you've overcome, and looking and believing in your dream, giving it energy, feeding it. And I just want to encourage you to keep going. There's nothing special about me. I just went after my dream. And in so many ways, I still feel like I'm barely touching the surface. And I used to really fear and believe that my dream was dumb. And I just want to share with you that your dream is not dumb. Where you come from doesn't matter. And most of all, you matter.